So welcome back, guys. Another analysis coming your way from Marathon Digital Holdings. As of today, I'm holding 20,000 shares of this stock, and you can do the calculations. The last time we made a video, Marathon was sitting at $15. Today, as I'm speaking, it is sitting on $16.50 and $16.75 after hours. Okay, the Bitcoin halving is now finished. We already went through the Bitcoin halving. Great. Now this is a 10x stock potential. I'm going to tell you why. Look, every time we go into a bull market, there is an industry that is going to be hot. Now last bull market, we had electric vehicles, clean energy, cryptocurrency. These were hot. I don't know if we're going to see that same quote-unquote hotness in previous sectors, but one thing for certain, crypto, Bitcoin is going to continuously move up in price, and it's going to remain hot. Previous video, some people said, you assume Bitcoin is going to 100,000, like it's guaranteed. If I don't believe in Bitcoin, why do I even have a trade open? You have to believe that a certain thing is about to happen, right? You have to believe that the price of an asset is going to increase in value. So this is what we do. We base our thesis on belief, but also potential demand that people want this. And yes, with the ETFs, with companies investing their money into Bitcoin and taking their dollar because it's now devalued, and every time America prints capital or prints dollar, it devalues these savings. So they want to put it in something that's going to accelerate their income over time, or their wealth. The only thing that's doing that is Bitcoin. So you have to believe in that thesis that Bitcoin is going to continuously increase in value. Well, what do you think Marathon Digital Holdings is going to do? It's going to continuously increase in value because they have their balance sheet is basically almost 20,000 Bitcoins now, and they're mining. So the Bitcoin halving is finished, and everybody's writing about it, right? Now look, Times of India says Bitcoin halving cuts supply of new tokens in threat to miners. Woo. Now another article goes like this. After halving event, Bitcoin transaction fees soar to over $240. So what happens? Bitcoin halving, it basically cut the revenue of miners. As I said before, the revenue is going to be cut in half, but then the transaction fees increase. So that will subsidize that, majority of it. But Marathon Digital Holdings, what they've been doing, they've been acquiring new sites, and they've been increasing their hash rate. I was watching a video, an interview the CEO was doing, and he said our hash rate, as of the miners that we have ordered and the space that we have, we can bring it to 70 hash rate, okay, exahash. Wow, that's triple the hash rate they have now, which means in the next 24 months, they will go back to the same production line they were pre-halving, which is around 800 Bitcoins or 900 Bitcoins a month and more. So you can see, guys, the growth potential in Marathon Digital Holdings. And that's just one of it. Now, we're assuming Bitcoin is going to remain at $60 or $60,000. What happens when Bitcoin goes to $100,000? These guys have increased their mining capacities, and on top of that, they've got 20,000, almost 20,000, I think after the summer, or just before the summer ends, they'll have more than 20,000 Bitcoins. That's a $2 billion valuation on their balance sheet that is linked to Bitcoin's price. Okay, what did we do here? So let me just explain to you a couple of things. A lot of you have questions. I go to StockTwits and I read what you guys have to say. There's 140,000 people on StockTwits, and I read, and these people are saying Bitcoin goes up, mining stocks go down. There is a specific event that's pushing mining stocks down, and then we see Bitcoin price go down, mining stocks go up. That's because that event was lifted from Bitcoin mining. So there isn't really a correlation all the time between Bitcoin and mining stocks. There is only a correlation when the market isn't basically hasn't been put under pressure. So why I'm saying this is because in the next couple of weeks, you may get pressure put on the market. Like the surprising thing, what we're seeing, guys, is we see Nvidia collapse. When I say collapse, I mean a big drop, guys. Okay, a big 10% drop on Friday. Now it's the weekend, while Mara ended up increasing in value. Okay. So what is this saying really? This is saying demand for chips is going to drop because miners after the halving. So Nvidia dropped after the halving because, you know, there's this assumption that most mining companies are going to shut off and they're not going to, you know, seek to mine Bitcoin. And that's what increased Nvidia. It's the processors and the equipment they manufacture for miners. Okay. Now Bitcoin ended up going up on value, or Marathon Digital Holdings, Mara. So now we're going to cover the chart, but I just want you to understand that it went up in value while everything else was selling off. This is a sign of strength. This is a sign that, well, money's flowing into this. Now we bounced from here 1480. Keep in mind, I've been averaging down. So now my average is 1580. So I'm actually profitable on this position, on this 20,000 shares. Even though I started high from 19 and I started averaging in, I'm now profitable on this trade. So majority of you, especially if you follow the Patreon, which I suggest you follow it, because if I write an article on Marathon, which is a public trade that I have and the only trade that I have, matter of fact, then I want you guys to read it. Okay, I'll leave the link in the description for you. So look, here is Marathon. We are pushing back to the 18 level. Now you see this resistance line, it's so apparent, you can see it. There's going to be a resistance at 18. So you might have a pullback or so. How big of a pullback? I don't know. Well, the question is, it's not about the pullback itself, it's whether Bitcoin is going to pull back too. Like 18 is guaranteed, we're going to get 18. I did say, although we might get 13 levels before pushing back up, but you know, it seems like we're not going to get that because it just seems this play is different. But from 18 level, anything can happen. We might pull back and we might pull back to the 13 level, or if Bitcoin decides to keep continuing higher, then we're back to the 24 level in no time. Okay, from there you have two things happening. Market will go sideways, awaiting interest rate cuts. So this is the next 8 months. Interest rate cuts, Bitcoin pushing higher, price increase, it goes to $50, $100. I believe in 2020, in 2025, Marathon Digital Holdings can be at $100. But that doesn't mean it's not going to pull back in the meantime, guys. There needs to be pullback. I mean, this is the biggest fluctuation asset out there. You can see big rallies, right? And then big pullback, big rally, big pullback, big rally, pull. These pullbacks are about 20 to 25% a piece. All right, so it's a day trader's favorite. But over time, they need to understand that this is a stock that has a lot of potential. This $30 mark here, we're going to break that anytime soon. And the catalysts that are going to come out for this stock is a lot of growth opportunities that the CEO is going to release and announce. So that's something I'm excited about, is the potential growth. So May, we have an earnings report. I believe any negativity in that earnings report will already be priced in at the current price. So I'm not worried about that. So this is a $50 plus position, guys. Now, how do I say this? Why do I say this? Well, first, let's look at the earning per share is 1. Okay, that's how much they make. The per share they have, and their price book value, I think I shared for you guys and shared with you guys the last time, and it was, let's have a look, 2.73. it's so rare to see that in this industry. So let's go to Coinbase, the stock, of course. And if we look at Coinbase, their earning per share is 0.38 cents. 38 cents. While the previous earning per share was, let's go back. We just go to summary one more time. It's $1. Now, where is Coinbase exactly? Okay, now it's $1. Coinbase is at $200. This is at $15. I mean, this is not the only thing we're keeping in mind here. There's a lot of things that we have to consider when making a trade like this. So 38 cents. Let's look at the statistics. The float is 190 million, while Marathon is around 280 million. Right? Price book trading 8 times as much as the valuation of the company. That's because it's cryptocurrency, right? This is a different industry. So ideally, when I tell you guys this is a 10x stock, Marathon Digital Holdings is undervalued, because if we're comparing it to these other companies who are also in the business of cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, it's undervalued. Now, I know it's not good to compare it to Coinbase because it's a different kind of thing. But if we're looking at the financials of this company, it's Marathon Digital Holdings is better. It just has extra more shares, of course, available. But it has even more growth potential than Coinbase itself. Okay? So this thing, guys, it's like, I feel like Marathon is so undervalued. It should be at $100. And they have other segments of the business. Now, I don't know why here it says Coinbase Global 1-year target is 40 cents. Anyways, that's not right. But they have more growth potential, Marathon, than Coinbase itself. There's more growth potential there. Of course, they've got 5 billion cash. Marathon will only have 2 billion cash if Bitcoin goes to 100,000. That's still good. That still will mean the actual current price of Marathon Digital Holdings is undervalued, guys. Okay, all of these things, it's difficult to explain it to you because I see things in my head and I can, do the numbers and I see it. I see that this is undervalued without even having to say anything. Now, worst case scenario for this goes to $13. Okay, before reversing, because I seen this level right here, 1366. Okay, now that I said, well, that's a potential, right, where we kind of sell off like this and then come down to 1366 and then push back up. And that's a potential, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like it just wants to keep pushing and breaking out. And this is one of those examples where you think you've seen this setup before, but it's a different industry. It's a very hot industry. The sudden move in Bitcoin will squeeze all the shorts, which are 16% of the total float, which is crazy. So look, I know we jumped from things to things here, but I'm very confident in this trade. Hopefully a lot of you are already on it. I know majority of you that follow me on the inside, you have taken this trade. Some of you have already started to see profits. And this is a trade I said I was going all in on. I'm sure, guys, this is a trade that I went all in on. And I think I'm going to hold this for a while. Maybe back to the 30s, the 50s. After the 50s, I'll start to decide. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So hopefully this analysis, guys, has helped you. You'll find a lot of naysayers below. They'll tell you clean spark this, clean spark that. Look, we outperformed CleanSpark. Didn't I tell you in the last video we were going to prove these JP Morgan guys wrong? Well, here we are, guys. We outperformed yesterday. Okay. Now let's look at CleanSpark. 5% increase, 6%, while our increase was almost 10%. 10% actually after hours. So we outperformed. And I proved JP Morgan wrong, right? And we're going to keep proving all the naysayers wrong, because Marathon Digital Holdings is the Apple of the Bitcoin industry. Because without miners, and they will have introduced other segments to be profitable in the business, without miners, Bitcoins cannot exist. So you need miners. And if their miner revenue down the line shrinks to 1 Bitcoin, per block, or even 0.5 or 0.2 Bitcoin, the transaction fees are going to replace those. And by then, a company like Marathon Digital Holdings, who's holding Bitcoin on its treasury, well, it will be just like MSTR. All it does is hold Bitcoin, and it goes up when Bitcoin price goes up. Okay guys, that's me done. Appreciate you for watching. Peace and love as always. Smash that like button so everybody else can see this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.